To come here today, even with the bad weather. Just pray that we can make the best decisions for the most people of this county, if not all citizens of this county, in every decision we make. In your holy and precious name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. We'll call this regularly scheduled meeting of the Nicholas County Commission on Wednesday, February 17th of the year 2021 to order. If you all like to get started, and of course we did not have the minutes, so if you wouldn't mind to skip that one.
Okay. Upon review of the exonerations as presented by the Nicholas County Assessor, move to approve accordingly.
Motion's on the floor. Is there any further discussion to be had? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon review of the estate and fiduciary matters as presented by the Nicholas County Clerk, we move to approve accordingly unless otherwise noted.
Motion's on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon submission of budget revisions received from the elected officials and departmental heads, the Commission will take the appropriate action as deemed necessary.
Motion's on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry.
Upon review of the invoices as submitted by various departmental heads, departmental offices, the Commission will take the appropriate action as deemed necessary.
Motion's on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. We do have a resignation of the Nicholas County Veterans Memorial Park Board. Mr. James Moyer, his term was expiring October 30th of the year 2021. Is there a motion to approve that resignation?
I'll make that motion.
Motion's on the floor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. Now we have a vacancy, obviously. Due to the resignation from the Park Board member, term of office expiring October 30th of the year 2021, and I would like to put before the Commission to consider Mr. Gary Roberts, Jr.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept that.
Motion's on the floor. Is there any discussion to be had? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against, the motion does carry. And for the first time, I think, we actually have our new board member with us this morning. So Gary, if you'd like to come up here real quick. Have you come up and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name.
I, Gary Roberts,
Okay. Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of West Virginia,
of the State of West Virginia,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties
the duties
of Board of Parks and Recreation Commissioner
of Boards of Park and Recreation Commissioner.
Sorry, that's long.
We coached you there.
for the County of Nicholas,
For the County of Nicholas,
beginning February 17th,
beginning February 17th,
year 2021,
year 2021,
to the best of my skills and judgment.
to the best of my skills and judgment.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Very good.
Thanks, sir.
Congratulations. I'm going to have you sign right here. My stuff, you'll sign right there. And we'll just need to get your address to the lady out in the front.
Okay.
Okay. I'll tell you what, we need you actually to sign back. I'm sorry.
Duplicate.
And while he's doing that, on the Nicholas County Fire Board, thank you, sir. The Mr. Davis and Mr. Bly are both in their first terms, so if there is a motion, they can serve one more term before they're turned out, or if you have someone else.
I'll make a motion that we approve those two.
Okay, the motion's on the floor to reappoint Mr. Steve Davis and Ben Black, correct? To the Nicholas County Fire Board. Is there any discussion to be had? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. And on the Nicholas County E911 Advisory Board, do we have anyone else willing to serve?
They talked about that, but I didn't get a name.
Okay, so
I think
maybe
somebody-
next time.
Somebody from the hospital, I think. is
Okay.
gonna come in.
Great.
Okay.
With that being the case, we'll take a quick break.
Okay.
Okay. We're here now with Attorney Paul Williams with the military leave and appointment of prosecuting attorney. And that military leave being our prosecuting attorney, Mr. Jonathan Swing. So the floor is yours.
As you gentlemen are aware, Mr. Sweeney wrote a letter indicating that he has active orders. And just out of an abundance of caution, I'd ask you to consider executive session. I don't know that I want to spread upon the record the Department of the Army's orders. I don't know if that's appropriate or inappropriate, so I would ask that we do that in executive session.
Do I hear a motion to convene into executive session pursuant to West Virginia Code 6-9A-4?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Motion on the floor, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, well, I'll tell you what, that motion with the retention of Mr. Sweeney and his representative and our legal counsel, Clint Bischoff. So that being said, the motion's on the floor, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. So if you all wouldn't mind, please. Okay.
I'll make the motion that we come out of executive session.
The motion being on the floor, is there any further discussion? That being said, there were no decisions made during executive session. That being said, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against, the motion does carry. We are out of executive session. Up next, we have a review of advertisement for a grant administrator. Legal Counsel Bischoff, if you'd like to
Sure.
have that conversation.
Gentlemen, what I had presented to you, it's just a sort of a proposed advertisement or job announcement. As you can see, there's a few things that I didn't know the answer to that are really commission decisions in terms of kind of employment, part-time, full-time, contract work, pay, benefits, no benefits, educational or experience requirements, and just looking at different job announcements for grant writers. There's a spectrum of requirements, and from no experience necessary to you have to have, this kind of a degree, and the same thing with the pay. So what I gave you were the not bare bones, but the guts of it. But I think you gentlemen will just have to decide, what you're looking for in terms of an individual or an applicant. Do we want to make them full-time or part-time? Do we want them to be contract where, we pay them either hourly or we pay them, by some other method? What do we want to pay? And these are all things I can research in terms of what would be appropriate pay, what would be appropriate experience and education, and just look at kind of the other counties around us and see what they're doing. But I didn't want to assume anything, so that's why I just left some of that information blank. But in terms of the job duties and responsibilities, that's a real good synthesis of what other counties around us are looking for or what they already have. So.
What about someone had asked me about this and a retainer type thing of let's say they want to write grants for us, so they'll charge us X number of dollars an hour, but they need a retainer of $2,000 a month or to work against that or something.
I mean, certainly there are instances where that's the case. Normally when you take in a retainer, it's more. It's not, a guarantee that you'll be paid, but a retainer is more just so you can get work and put in work into something and get paid for it. But you could be a contract employee. I mean, we're talking about the county here, so it's the check's probably good in terms of that. But I think that situation would work just fine as well. It's whatever you gentlemen felt comfortable with, and I think this is really going to come down to applicants and finding somebody that can be effective at this job, because it's a great idea, because in theory the job will not only pay for itself, but it will yield the county more money.
Right.
So it's an important job, but no, Commissioner Chapman, that's absolutely on the table.
Okay.
Yeah, there wouldn't be anything improper about that. Any other questions?
It's more so than an employee, like a contract with like a retainer would be kind of what I would.
Kind of a company, kind of like
Eh.
Region 4 is. They're kind of this
Right,
already.
right.
Correct?
Well,
But just an individual specifically.
They are, and the thing
Our
about
benefit,
Region 4 is what you would called a quasi-governmental agency, meaning that they receive, state and federal funds to do their job, but they're not a county office in the sense that you guys are, giving them a budget or anything like that. There are companies out there, though, that are private companies that provide this service, so that might be something that would be perfect for this county commission in terms of we're only paying for the work that we need, and you could also make it results driven, that here's here's your pay, but here's if we get this grant, well then this is your pay or something like that. This is a unique position where there are a lot of different ways to go with it.
Because we would like to see them being administered as well.
Okay.
It's just like
Hey,
that nice experience. Get you
Not only a
get you
grant
more.
writer, but the,
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
They
yes,
administer
yeah.
it to the-
They administer it through the tenure.
yeah.
And it's funny because you can just take about any service that you receive now, human resources or a company that needs a chief financial officer, but they're not big enough to have one. You can literally just get them by the hour, by the day. I mean, that's kind of how that market all these markets have evolved in that it's a la carte, you just pay for what you need. That might be the way to go here, but certainly that job announcement can be tailored any way that you gentlemen want it. You just let me know and think about it. And then I could, maybe what I could do, maybe we put it on the agenda for next meeting, is I could give some examples of either a contract type situation or a retainer type situation, or just, by the project, pay by the project. We could do something like that to find something.
And their fees, they can be built into the grant, administrative type fees.
I would think so, because most grants that, we're in the middle of a grant right now with Region 4 where, they're paying the fees that come along with it, including the county's attorney's fees.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
a lot of grants just are blanket grants that they include that kind of stuff. That could include any services or whatever the county needed to actually develop and draft and process the grant application itself. So there's a bunch of different ways to go here, but I think the county could absolutely see a benefit from this.
Thank you.
So if you gentlemen are okay, then in next meeting, I'll just bring in some more information.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yes, Clint.
That being said, we have no other appointments except for the public comment period, which is we're a minute or two behind, but that's okay. No one has signed up for the public comment period, so with that being said, is there any issue or comments a commissioner would like to bring up at this time?
Have we done the job for the animal shelter?
Not yet.
No. And the electrical contractor on the park had a few things he was getting addressed with his lighting company, and then he should have us a quote here very soon. He said the weather's kind of held him back. So,
Okay.
and there's going to take pouring concrete and a few other things to actually fix this.
Really?
Yes, to reset some of those lights in the posts.
Okay.
So that being said, anything else? Okay.
I'll make a motion on the adjourn.
Okay, the motion on the floor is to adjourn this regularly scheduled meeting of the Nicholas County Commission on Wednesday, February 17th of the year 2021. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against the motion does carry. We are adjourned.